Good morning, today 211. 211. Got stuff to do today. Tyler's meant to be here, not too sure where they are so far. Installation of plasterboard is going to continue throughout the whole day. We've got lots to do. We just put the door tracks together to ensure that we understand how they work and where they've got to go. This is the door track themselves. So, as you can see, they're 40 foot long. So this is the casing that obviously will house them behind the wall, the pocket wall. And then we have obviously the main tracks themselves that will sit when they're in a stationary locked position. So they need to be tested today, and then obviously we're going to trim all these to height, get the fixings marked out on the wall here, work out how long the doors actually are here, and build a ladder end piece for the top frame to be screwed into. So that's one thing we're doing here. We've had water issues today after the rain, but it's just highlighted we need to get this out. So now we've taken this 2x4 out, which is actually in the floor covering the pipe. The water has now been running towards the pool. So this here, is the 2x4 has actually been hiding a 4-inch waste pipe, which you can see just here. So the aim is actually to cut a disc line straight through that, and the water will go into the actual pipe and will feed the irrigation tanks. So that goes all the way around in a U shape, all the way along here, and then should shoot all the way along there as well. So that will be disc cut by the pool man at some stage. And then there's an inner one here for the pool itself, so we'll be cutting that one in at some stage. But we did that today just to see whether the water would actually start running that way rather than sitting on here and pooling towards the doors, which it did work. As you can see here, it was actually pooling here as well. So now we've taken that out, it runs off and comes into here. So that's good news. We have unfortunately had this leaking again, so the guys are coming out to have another look at that tomorrow morning. Not major, but it is what it is. It's my new saying, it is what it is. As I said last night, doors are in here. We're doing the rest of them along. Now we understand what the hell we're doing. They seem to go in quite nice. So we've still got to balance this one a little bit better and take some of the screws out that are in the frame and get them put behind the frame itself and cover the holes within the thermal bead. And the tilers are meant to be coming also to do this bathroom as well. So I've made sure that's all fired up and screwed in as it should be, so it's all ready for them. But they're not here as yet, and it's 9:10. So I'll have to chase up where they are. Guys are also going to be making the ladder frame today, so they're going to measure the 11.530, which is the frame and gap height and width. They're going to mark that off here. They're going to build the framework straight off the wall here after they've lasered the lines. I did the lines yesterday. The line seems to be pretty good, so we'll laser another line down here at the 11.530. Then we can build this system that goes in the back, that the actual upright frame that connects into here, whatever that ends up being. Well, obviously once that's been plumbed in, then we'll be able to build the framework to that. Again, like I said, we'll chop these off at the actual I think it's 2458. Trim those off. That gives us about 3/4 of an inch above the door frame to fix into. And then I think what actually happens is obviously you lay these sideways, you fit the frames into it, you put the roof on, and then you lift the whole thing upwards into place, into the track itself, and then tack it above, and then obviously you can put it in place and do what you've got to do. It's going to be a monstrous frame, as you can see, and that's just one side. One thing we did have this morning, we came into some water here. I was thinking, damn, we've got a leak, but we don't. It's where the water's been driving into this wall and sitting here, and then the wind blows it and it finds its way to the lowest point. So that's highlighted another problem we're going to have to potentially contend with on the doors at the front. If we have a complete torrential rain, then obviously we're going to end up having quite a bit of water coming into this piece here, because the wind and rain comes across. This wall protects the rain at an angle, so it all hits here, but it pulls there and lands up being blown through the hallway. So because the hallway itself doesn't have a run on it, that makes it worse. But even if it had a run, obviously the wind is trying to force it down the hallway. So it's going to be a pivot door, which means, you know, there's not going to be a threshold on the floor that normally would stop the water going over. So we have to think about what we're going to do there. Another thing we've got to consider, lots and lots of rain today, this morning, so we're trying to do what we can inside. The steps that Ready Mix poured for us, unfortunately, they poured off all the supports that we actually had in the middle holding the steps in. So from here, you'll probably see what I mean. The steps are all now bowed. the centre support we had here. We had a support here with a centre support and an end support. The guys took that off because they needed to get underneath to try and smooth the concrete. So as a result of that, the whole steps, the force of the weight just literally pushed the steps out. So now we're having to rod the step by at least 1.25 inches, or 1.5 inches. Then we're having to literally plaster the front steps to try and lose that banana shape. So thanks for that, really, Mix. That was much appreciated. Here, obviously, we put this here because, as you can see, the water is collating here. So we do have another issue here. The water seems to collate in that corner there. And here, so we're going to have to think about something to do on the patio to make the water run over. So I'm not too sure what to do at the moment, but that's something we've definitely got to consider. But we can't really do anything until we get some freedom of movement and some rain. Obviously we're getting rain at the moment, but obviously we're not having the freedom of visual and whatever, so we need to get this gone so we can actually see exactly what it does. Yeah, so that's one thing. It did come into here again when it first started raining, which we spun straight back out again, and now the sand's there, it stopped it coming through. So today's main tasks, obviously front bifolds, they're being windowed as we speak, glazed as we speak. Obviously we're just checking out the door frames here to ensure they all fit once they're all together. We're going to build the ladder system at the end, obviously for the door frames to fix into. We're going to chop the fixings at the top to ensure that they're the right height and fix them into the wall properly, right across both sides. And then we'll probably lift it into place and start marking out on the wall where we're going to be fixing, with a view to us next week installing the bad boys. So that's probably the tasks for the day. Plus, obviously, for Tyler to turn up, they'll be doing the bathroom. So fingers crossed they arrive. 4:45, everyone is shooting off. So, okay, let's have a quick look where we are. So we've got this one little wall here behind us to do in the bedroom here. A little bit above, a little bit below, a little bit above here. This door frame has also got to be built as well at the U-channel. So that's the bit that's got to be done in here. We're now plasterboarded throughout this hallway. This bedroom, same thing. This little wall here, a little bit above. A little bit above here and down here, and again, got to insulate there. Bathroom, apart from the entrance area, bathroom is done all the way around, but unfortunately our tiler's never turned up today. Not too sure what went wrong there. Also got to insulate around here, so that's something we need to do first thing in the morning. This room is being done as we speak. In here's got to be insulated, so again, that's got to be insulated here. And this wall here is going to be insulated as well, so we can get that done at some stage tomorrow. In here, in the main living area, nothing's changed drastically in here. There's been some electric on today. Obviously, like I've already said, we've been playing around with the door tracks. We've got the door tracks now as they need to be. They're all laid out, waiting. We do need level lay. If anybody knows where you can get level lay in Barbados, let me know. Apparently they do it, but I can't find it. What we need to do is put some level lay in the door tracks themselves. If I show you what, the door track itself is pretty much level now. Now we've sort of chased out this piece here to try and get a slight upwards lip sorted, which has now been done. But in this corner, the concrete floor itself has been poured low. So as you can see at the moment, we're sort of looking at around about 15 to 18 mil packers along here, which is a disaster. So what we want to try and do is from about here where it starts falling by about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, we want to put a level lay through there. Far easier to put level lay than it is to try and do it with concrete and try and do it within the naked eye. But I've been around to Koymans, I've been around to Carter's, and they haven't got it. They were going to put a line on this one as well. The line is in, but the line's not been pulled, so I don't know what's happened whilst they've been away. So they're going to try and get a board nailed at that end, and we're going to try and work out whether there is a drop on here as well. If there is, then we'll try and find the level lay for that as well. So in the meantime, we've had it sort of levelled off in here today, just so it's nice and flush. But we do have that issue to contend with, so we're going to have a look at that. Doors, glass is in on all of them. We've still got, glass has been swapped on these three, and all of these have got glass as well, which is absolutely amazing. What we do need to do, obviously, at some stage, is just get this fixer foam in. So once we've worked out whether all the windows are good, we need to work out what we're doing with the silicone at the bottom, and if we're going to leave it, how we're going to silicone from the front and the rear, and then get the fixer foam in. But so far, we've had rain in the last 2 days. There's been no rain that's been coming through, which has been good, even though it's not fixer foamed in or siliconed yet. Bathroom, still need to finish off the insulation in and around here and the boarding, but obviously the tiled area has been done. But again, like I said, No tiling's gone on as yet, but the tiles are now here for both bathrooms. And then what we've got to do in here is obviously get this tidied up, board this so we can insulate the other side, and the same over here as well. And obviously the stair area next door has got to be done floor to ceiling, and that's 12 feet, so above a staircase. So we're going to work out how we go about doing that. But other than that, the installation is going to be the main thing tomorrow, and then finishing off the boarding. So as you can see in here, we've now got a piece of boarding going across. It's not exactly safe, but it is on the side just about. That gives us a way of actually getting a ladder up on there and trying to get the insulation done and the plasterboard done. Here's a couple of thoughts for you. We've been working out whether we want to put 2 spotlights in here, or 2 wall lights in here, or 1 here. Bearing in mind that this is going to land up being a staircase, and this is already a 12-foot ceiling, so we're going to have no way of getting up to change the light bulb. I want 2 spots up there, but we need to work out how we're going to go about changing a bulb as and when one ever blows. So anyone got any great ideas, let me know. Obviously we need to insulate all the way through here as well tomorrow, and we need to get boarded up obviously as well. So that's pretty much what we've got to do there. Other than that, obviously it's actually boarding through here, so this is pretty much ready to rock and roll here. We've still got to, in here where we sort of started at the weekend, getting the boarding done on the ceiling. We didn't actually get where the extractor's going to be here. We didn't actually put the support in the ceiling here, so that square's got to come out tomorrow. And then the carpenters will put, a squared 2x4 frame in there, so we've got something to fix too. And the other thing I need help with, if anybody knows where I can get bespoke chimney covers, I think you can call it. Obviously an extractor comes with an extractor unit and a chimney, but most chimneys, if you're in an 8-foot room and it's normally around about sort of 5 foot, 6 foot head height, the chimney's only going to be about 4 feet. Well, I need a chimney that's going to be around about 6 to 7 feet. So I need to try and find a material that will end up covering the chimney to connect to the extractor. So anyone that knows any bespoke companies that can make that, or anybody that can actually do 2 pieces that can be connected, let me know. But again, we want to try and get that boarded tomorrow as well. So we want to get this all insulated, boarded first and insulated. So I'm going to talk to Andrew now, and obviously just make sure he focuses on anything that's unskinned, get a skin on it so that we can insulate tomorrow, and then he can then come behind and start plasterboarding. Other than that, the guys have been outside doing the well today. I don't know how they got on. I would walk over, but we've had rain, so I'm going to come back with 3 inches of mud all over my feet, so I'm going to give that a swerve. But they were working on it. I didn't hear the drill going a hell of a lot, but they were working on it. And also the boys have been out here today working on these. Said Ready Mix removed our centre support, which made all of our steps bowed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to rod each one of these, and we're going to re-skim all of the actual front surfaces. It's a real shame, but it's going to have to be done. As you can see here, you stand down the bottom ones. The bottom ones are the best ones. But number one, the actual step sits right backwards, number one. And then you look over the step itself, and you can literally just see the bottom edge hanging out. And then if you look down, it's just a banana. It comes right over. So all of them have been chiselled off at the front, because obviously it does hang out quite a lot. That's still got to be done. That one's been done as well. And then we've got to literally replaster every one of the steps. And then once we've done that, we're going to have to do the tops as well, because they're just as bad. So my advice to anybody, obviously having steps done by concrete, try and do them separate. Try and have a specialist team that are good at doing that sort of stuff, because the finish is really important. And if you don't get it right, then obviously you're just going to spend time rectifying it anyway. So maybe get a separate team to do anything that's classed as a finish. Other than that, I think we're pretty much over. We haven't finished, obviously we're going to carry on, but at the same time, that's pretty much all there is to report. If there's anything different, I'll let you know. But other than that, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow.